Hola, ¿qué tal, jugador? ¿Cómo estás? Soy Álvaro Reyes y aquí estoy con Nico justamente en Bali. Yeah, how are you, Nico?
Oh, good. I live in Bali. What do you expect?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, Nico ha sido la persona que ha entrenado a todos los alumnos de Next Level, principalmente en el tema de presencia y en el tema de combate. Él ha tenido 65 combates profesionales y ha sido luchador profesional de Muay Thai durante 15 años. But who are you, Nico? Introduce yourself.
So, well, I'm Nico, and I help high-profile entrepreneurs, that's my biggest clients, to have sensational sex and make more money. To me, all personal growth is the same. The same principles that may help you perform in business can make you perform in the bedroom, which is not really performance, but that's for later. And like in life, in sports, it's all the same principle. You have to respect your body. And so I believe that when you focus on your intimate relationships, improve your intimate relationships, you can use those skills everywhere else.
In all areas of your life.
When you are better in the bedroom, in your communication, in negotiations with your intimate partner, for sure if you have a relationship, you can do it everywhere. Because it's so close to your heart, so then your automatic patterns will pop up. And if you can learn how to change those, you can do it everywhere. Then, like, if your woman goes crazy, you can stay calm, look her in the eyes, pin her against the wall, say,
yeah,
I want you. And you kiss her. And then she has what she wants, your full attention. When you can see that when she's angry, it is very often just because you're not present with her. Then, if somebody's giving you shit because wants more money out of a deal, you're not gonna budge at all.
Yeah.
So it's like I help entrepreneurs and executives, but I help them through making their why, their intimate lives, their love lives, and their sex lives will drive them to become big, much bigger than before.
Yeah, one thing I read from you the other day, because I was like looking your Instagram, is one thing that was really funny, that normally the people who make really great profiles, no profits, they are really bad in bed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why?
Well, because most of us that do that work so hard to make big things, they push because they have a hole inside that they try to fill. So what happens when we are small, we get born with self-esteem. We think we are gods, literally. We think everything that happens is because of us. And so then life hits us hard, hurts our pain, and then we don't feel love, or we get bullied. And so what happens is that self-esteem goes higher. It's still there in your body, but it goes higher. And then you have a hole. You feel empty. And then you try to prove yourself that you're worthy of love. You try to prove to yourself and to other people that you are amazing. But you try to prove it. So it's an empty hole. It's like ego. And ego is like a bucket that leaks. So you keep on putting water to have enough water, but you'll never have, because
and it's everything dopamine also.
Yes. So it's doping, hunting.
It's like a drug.
It is a drug. But the problem is that the hole stays there. And so that's why a lot of people, when they reach the absolute top, they put a bullet to their face, like, because nothing worked. They sacrificed so much. All their pleasure, all the things, they've worked so hard, 80, 90 hours a week, and then they have it all and they feel empty. You know? But the thing is, why are they bad in bed? Well, very often because, first of all, they're performers, so they want to perform. So if you, for example, are a man and are performing with a woman, you know, the first time it's nice, but very soon she will notice that you're a machine. Or that you're like a doctor trying to experiment and become better. It's not about connection, and women want to feel connected.
They want to feel loved.
They feel loved and taken and wanted and ravished, and they want you to lose control too, and not, you know. That's one thing. The second thing is that we push our bodies when we go for the goals, and you have a goal, next goal. We are always in fight or flight. That's why so many high-level entrepreneurs and executives and traders, they have to take drugs to relax. Or go to hookers to relax. You know, sniff coke to finally relax, to let go. Or drink. Or sport, like, or the other way around. They go obsessive about health. Become healthy and meditate and be yoga, and then you sit in Bali a lot. It's like the spiritual rat race. And they go there. But the thing is, they're running away from the pain.
They are escaping.
They're escaping. And so then what happens is, but the problem is, if you push your body into fight or flight, the sympathetic nervous system activation, and you don't activate your parasympathetic, your relaxed system, what happens is when you get flustered, you will not get hard. Because to get hard, you need your parasympathetic. You need to be relaxed, because otherwise there's too much tension, and the blood cannot flow in your cock. That's one, or in your pussy.
Yeah,
Same
I
thing.
know.
That's one thing. The second thing is that when you get hard, then because your sympathetic nervous system is
You're
high,
going to come really fast.
yeah, your parasympathetic is low, you can come very fast. So what we need to do is, like traditional sex therapy says, you have to calm and be intimate and be sweet. But that's bullshit. Because what is the best sex you ever had?
Crazy, fast, hard.
You're fucking crazy. But the thing is, you're not crazy, fast, hard for 2 seconds. So what you need to be able to learn is to activate your sympathetic, your excitement, your arousal levels, your heart rate has to go up. You want to be wild, but at the same time, be relaxed. So what I've research has shown that what's the difference between men that come fast or men that can come whenever they want to, is with men come fast, they have a high activation and the heart rate stays high. So the sympathetic nervous system stays high and the parasympathetic stays low. So men that can last long, they have all the excitement too, but then very soon the heart rate starts to drop again. So they have learned to control their bodies, to stay calm in intensity, and that is the same skill you need, for example, in high level negotiations. But a lot of people, what they do is sniff coke, because then they're focused, but that's fake. Same thing, and that's short-lived. So it works, it's effective in the short run, but it's very unworkable in the long run, because you're breaking your body down. And you're telling yourself that you need external things to be strong. You tell yourself you need external things you cannot control. You need pills, or you need the blue one, or you need to take ecstasy to last longer. It's all external. But by doing that time and time again, you're telling your body, I am weak. I'm an imposter. I'm not the real alpha. So to me, the big difference between a real alpha and what I call pseudo-alpha, what you see a lot of in the pickup world, is the pseudo-alpha doesn't believe inside that he's worthwhile, that he's strong, that he's powerful, that he's an alpha. So he tries to prove it. And what happens, they do compensation. They be fucking assholes. And that works, because most men these days are very soft, so women think, oh, finally a strong man. But then one day these guys fall in love and they have what you guys call one-itis. It's not one-itis, they fall in love, so they want to be themselves, and so the masks falls off, and it becomes clear that they're, still very weak, not strong inside. Now and I see to the chimps, with the chimps it happens that when they live in a scarce environment, and they live as if they live in a scarce environment, where there's not a lot of food and a lot of danger, the alpha is very mean. So he eats the best food for himself, he shares nothing, he's extremely aggressive. If one of the other alpha of upcoming guys tries to fuck, he kills them, literally. But so what happens is his reign is short, a few months, maximum a few years, and then the other will work together to kill him. Literally, and he gets literally ripped apart. Then you have alphas that stay on 5, 10, 15, 20 years sometimes, even when they're not so strong anymore, because they know how to make alliances. And what do they do? He shares his fruit with his children. He shares his fruit and his women with upcoming alphas, with strong other men. So they get a team, so they help each other to thrive. So even if the environment is poor, they still act as if it's in abundance. And because of it, other people want to keep him on his place, because he makes sure everybody thrives. So that is that thing. But why? Because he knows that when it's necessary, when somebody tries to take it over, he can take it. It's like he has a sword, but he doesn't need to use it. The other alpha is like swinging his sword and threatening everybody. What will happen? People will not be happy, and so all animals will not be happy. So from the moment they can take it over, they take it over. So the difference is it's you don't try to prove nothing. You know from inside that you're strong, that you're worthwhile. And there are, like, in my eyes, to become a real alpha, there are 4 things you need to do.
Yeah, you told me the other day.
The first thing you need, and underlying it, is your body. It's not your mind. So we get taught from when we're very young. We have to sit on our ass, watch some guy telling about things we don't interest, and we have to dissociate from our feelings, from our needs, because we are made to move and to connect, but we can't do that. So then we stop to move and connect, and we have to look, and if we don't have that, we have ADHD and they give us a pill. These days, I was old enough. I was just a busy child. Yeah. They hit me and pulled me, but they didn't give me a pill, luckily. So that's what happens. And so you have to dissociate, you make distance from your needs. So you get disembodied, and the only thing that gets magnified is your brain. So we think we can solve everything with our brain. But it's like, don't think about a fat chick in a pink tutu sitting with her ass on your face. You're gonna see it. You can't force it. So you have to really start to feel that, like I said, that self-esteem that we had as a child again. We have to turn into our bodies. And what ways to do that? Well, there are a few things. The first thing is you want to train your body. And the best ways to do that for me is you have to lift heavy weights, because that will boost your testosterone.
Yeah.
And you will get you more grounded. The feeling of, if you lift 180 kilos on the floor, you're gonna feel good. It's simple, it's stupid, and ideally I do it, I call it it's like silent strength training. So what I will ask my black clients to do, they have to put on a sound cancelling headphones. No, they have to do it calm. Because then instead of forcing yourself, okay, in the beginning you will progress less fast, because you're not pushing your body in sympathetic nervous system. But if you do it calm, you will learn that there's a different way to reach.
So it's the same like sex, you know? It's hard, but slow, you're not patient.
Exactly. And then you can do that also in your business. So you have that goal, and then you can decide, even if it's difficult, to do it calm. And only when it's really necessary, when there's a crisis, then your body automatically will switch to sympathetic nervous system. But for the rest, you're calm. Because when you're calm, you will be much more creative. You will find much more solutions. Same thing in your relationship. If you're calm, then it's gonna be there. So you have that grounded strength, calm strength, not forced, but calm. That's why in the exercise, when there was like an exercise, the guys came to me and the women, and I had to go away when I started the conference. And they say, "Go away!" Oh, no, because it's fake. It's compensation. It's clear that you're not.
It's over. It's excited.
Yeah. But if you walk to me, you say, "Let me pass." I went away because it was the confidence, the stupid ego.
It's the present we work on it.
Yes, yeah, exactly. So that's why I thought was a good one. But that's one thing. The second thing that I like to train the body with is fight. I think every man should have at least one fight, preferably in the ring or the cage, so you don't get arrested.
In his life?
At least once, because it brings you into touch with something very primal. So what we don't realize is that for millions of years, men's only job was to kill or to be killed. We were like, suppose our tribe where we lived in was a body, we are the white blood cells. We are there to protect and hunt a bit to get very nutritious food, which is meat, but very clearly our main good job was to protect our children and our women, because life was like a chimp movement, a chimp society. It was scarce, it was dangerous, and so that's why patriarchy came up, because you need a strong man and you need a strong competition, and if there was strong competition, then men became stronger so they could defend. So that was normal. And also because of that, because men, there was so much war in primal times, you know? So that's why there was most cultures were polygamous, one man, multiple women. Not because it was of patriarchal, we are fucking assholes, no, because most men died. So for every woman, every man, you have 3-4 women, because most men were dying in childbirth and later in life. Okay, so that's that. So it's training your body, it's learning to fight, it's learning to connect. because you have almost no connection that is so intense and so pure as when you're gonna do a fight with your opponent, with the people that trained you for months or years or even decades, like me, and with the public around that are screaming. All eyes are on you. You can't run away, man. You are there, and we just.
So are you telling me that when you know how to connect during the fight, you are going to know how to connect during the social interactions?
Yes. Well, you can. Some people don't see the reference, but it's true. Like there is a very deep thing. Like when I was a very shy boy.
Really?
Yeah. Give me a world champion, I'll smile in his face. Literally, I winked at him. Motherfucker had like triple the fights of me, and I still won. But the women looked me in the eyes, and I was away in my books, studying about sexuality and psychology.
Which age was that?
What?
How old were you?
Until I was 18.
18.
I was a
and
lady.
how were your change in between the fights?
What?
How was the change of you? Fighting, or how was the main change?
The main change was just a certain moment. My first girlfriend, I was together with her 3 years, and I was gonna be social and I was gonna be good and a good boy, you know, but a very dominant good boy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need no personal space. You love me, poor girl. Really bad. And I thought that good sex was jackhammering for hours. I trained myself and I could fuck for hours. Poor girl. Like she had to fantasize about another man. Like it just.
Yeah.
But okay, you learn, I hope. And then she dumped me. Of course, she had no choice, and we're not such a good match. So she was smarter than I was, and of course it broke my heart. Of course, my first girlfriend, you know the feeling. And then a month later, my father died. And in that moment,
everything changes.
Everything changed, and I was reading them, and then a friend of me gave me the Seduction 101 way back from Ross Jeffries' forum.
Yeah.
And I started reading, and it was interesting, but I didn't really feel connected until I read about polyamory, and that's it. And so that became
changed all the mindset about relationship.
Yes. And then I read a lot about Steve P and Rasputin. I really liked them. I mean, they're a bit extreme into the chauvinistic side, but a lot of the lessons I don't agree with everything, but a lot of their inborn lessons are very powerful. I really like them. That's why I think that every man should be able to fight, because if you be able to fight, if you know that when push comes to shove, you can protect your woman.
Yeah.
You will have an entire different presence. If somebody is going and you just do. I had once was a friend of me. He was like this big, 180 m, 90 kilos. Another guy started pushing because his girlfriend was looking at my friend, but also this big. And so I pushed my friend aside, and I had to look up and say, "Wait." And this guy shit his pants because he saw a little guy, scrawny guy, that looked him in the eyes and said, "Don't do it."